Hey everybody, Orbold here. Um, it's been a while since I recorded a video, so then you can just disregard the sound in the background. That's just the security system in the house. But anyway, I haven't recorded a video in a while, but I've just been busy with other things, you know. But that's okay. Life goes on and all that. And if I sound tired, well, I have been doing stuff throughout the day. But anyway, I decided to make this video, um, pretty much to talk about how I use my social media accounts. Because anyone that's seeing my WordPress, obviously my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, um, and a couple of other websites, you'll notice I go by different usernames or different usernames, different things going on and all that stuff. And so I figure I might as well just try to explain things a little bit, and also to try to explain things a little bit for those that have been following my videos for a while, and kind of explain things as well for those that are new subscribers, hopefully. But anyway, I would say in terms of the three social media platforms I use that I value the most, excluding YouTube, um, I would have to say the top three would easily be WordPress, Facebook, and I'm going to say WordPress, Facebook, and third one's at the time between Twitter and Tumblr. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I had to think about it for almost a minute, for 30 seconds. But WordPress, Facebook, and then Twitter or Tumblr. I haven't decided yet. But across all my social media platforms, I mean, the interesting thing is, I'm pretty sure that compared to a lot of people that use Facebook and Twitter, for example, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and so on, I'm pretty sure for a lot of people they just mainly use it to either one, promote their business, or two, to talk about what they're doing and all that other stuff. But um, not just those things, but also just talk about a lot of things that are going on. But mostly focus on keeping things positive. But anyone that's followed me through social media, mainly Facebook, over the last 10 plus years now, has noticed that I've kind of kept things pretty real in terms of the things that I talk about and share through all my social media platforms. Um, I don't just keep things happy-go-lucky. I also talk about a lot of the serious stuff that's been going on in my life. Well, stuff that I consider serious, but that's a topic for not that's a topic for another day. But I like to keep things real. I mean, I don't have a problem talking about a lot of happy-go-lucky things, but at the same time, I feel like too many people, like, I'm on social media, they look at they only see the positive stuff that are going on with other people, and it's like it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, number one, it's obviously people have stuff that they struggle with. People have things going on in their lives and all that stuff. But for pretty understandable reasons, I shouldn't say obvious, but for pretty understandable reasons, they mainly focus on just posting positive things. I mean, a lot of the reasons that people stick to keeping it positive is, number one, they don't want to they want to just try to make the people that follow them or subscribe to them either through YouTube or otherwise, Facebook and so on. They want to spread some positivity, which we definitely do need more of in this world. At the same time, however, I feel like if that's all that you really do, unless you specifically only have people that you personally know that follow your online activities, which is becoming harder and harder to do these days. But if that's all you really do, it can give the impression that, and I know I have no I don't know how that's gonna sound, but it can give the impression that oh, their life is perfect. They don't have any problems. They have all these good stuff going for them. But as we all know, no one in this world is perfect. Everyone has their issues. Everyone has stuff going on in their personal lives that, for better or worse, I mean, just because they don't talk about it in sort of detail or anything like that doesn't mean they don't have stuff that they struggle with or that they deal with day to day. So yeah, it's me. I have to say my reasons for talking about all the stuff that I deal with from time to time, whether it's in one of my videos or on Facebook or on the WordPress blogs, is number one, I'm a big believer in transparency. um, number two, mostly for the people that don't know me personally and what's going on and all that stuff. Let people know. I like to let people know, and I've gotten better at not making things too, and I'm not going into too specific detail. But I let people know. I like to let people know that even though I do all this cool stuff on my WordPress blog, writing about video games and anime and WWE and sports and all this other good stuff. This is what's also going on in my life. You know, these are the things that I'm dealing with right now. That one obviously have a profound impact on why I write the things that I write, but also why more and more in recent years it's often been months or years since I've last written or posted anything online. Like I have all of these things that are pretty much taking my attention, and it is what it is pretty much. I mean, one thing that I definitely do I will have to admit though is I definitely have to get better on balancing things. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not saying anything in terms of a quota or anything like that, but more like just trying to make sure that when I share personal things that are going on with me, that I get better at not making it sound like those that are either reading or watching the content that I put out are supposed to know what's going on, or making it sound like I'm attacking anyone specifically or anything like that. And that's definitely something that I feel like I need to improve upon. And I believe I talked about this before, once or twice, either on both WordPress and in a previous YouTube video. But and I'm gonna definitely talk about this in the next video I'm going to record. But the reason that I keep making all these WordPress blogs and why I make all these WordPress blogs and all these videos is because one, I like doing it. Number one. Number two, I like to say that I'm pretty good at it. And number three, at the very least, um, yeah, at the very least, I feel like, as long as I'm able to do it, I'll keep doing it. And I figure if I inspire someone to do the same, then yeah, it's a pretty good feeling, and it's something that I enjoy doing, obviously. So yeah. I'd say in regards to going through platforms one at a time, and I'm gonna start with YouTube. I almost forgot my top three list, but I want to say in regards to YouTube, I'm pretty glad that the platform itself hasn't changed much over the years in terms of recording and uploading stuff. I mean, on the one hand, it's become much easier for folks to upload things from their smartphones and their tablet PCs, but as you can see, about 90% of my videos have been recorded from my bedroom, so obviously I prefer to record videos this way. I mean, it's what I'm the most comfortable with. I mean, I have recorded videos outside of my room, so I don't have, so this isn't a problem per se. It's just for me, I'm a creature of habit in that way. So yeah, that's why mostly when I record these YouTube videos, I mainly do it from inside of my room, pretty much. Um, those that have only really watched YouTube videos who may have been wondering why, more so in the last 10 or so years now, you were able to watch YouTube videos that are over 10 minutes. YouTube is a constantly changing platform, and they've now made it possible for people to record videos way beyond 10 minutes. I believe I recorded two 1 hour videos. One was on Attack on Titan, I believe. No, not Attack. Yeah, one was on Attack on Titan. The other one was on the issue of police brutality and all that other stuff. That was the other one. I think I might have done one more, but I don't remember. But I definitely plan on doing a couple of more hour-long videos as well. Um, on a somewhat related note, something that I'm really excited about is, and this is mostly in regards to Facebook, um, doing live streams. It wasn't until very recently that for me, live streaming was just out of reach. I mean, Facebook has been buying out a lot of smaller companies and social media platforms, and among them being Instagram and Pinterest. So it's not much easier for people to. It's not much easier for people to share what they're doing or connect with others from around the world without the use of a computer, and that's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons Instagram and Pinterest. Well, more so Instagram than Pinterest because they do have a website. That's one of the more reasons that both of those platforms have been resisting setting up a web version of their platforms. Unfortunately for me, that's going to be a bit of a problem since I'm going to have to shut my phone off in a couple of weeks. But whatever. But not a couple of weeks, a week and a half. I'd say about 10 days from now. But anyway, I digress. Um, Facebook is a pretty interesting platform that's evolved over the years. I've had a pretty love-hate relationship with that website, and I've been pretty candid about it over the last 10 years. I mean, I had a self-imposed boycott of Facebook for a while until I want to say, I believe it was 2011 when I was forced to stop it. When I was forced to reactivate my Facebook account to connect with some of my coworkers, my then new coworkers at the time, at one of the schools where I worked. So for the purposes of making it easier to connect with them outside of work hours, I reactivated my Facebook account, and it's been active ever since, pretty much. If you're seeing a smudge on the screen, I noticed it on the lens before I started recording, but unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. So, yeah, it's annoying the crap out of me too. But I'm trying not to let it really bother me too much. I'm trying to ignore it right now. But anyway, um, I have had a pretty love-hate relationship with Facebook over the years, and even though more lately even though more often than not these days I've been feeling pretty indifferent about Facebook, mostly in regards to their policy and data collection and all that stuff. I have to say, if it wasn't for Facebook, I wouldn't have been able to meet a lot of interesting folks that I have been connecting with in the last year and a half now. So yeah, I mean, and like I said a few minutes ago, I have a lot of stuff going on, but it's okay. I have some stuff going on, and unfortunately, I have some things I need to work out in the next month or two. But anyway, if you heard a chime right now, that was my iPad. um, Getting back to the topic of live streaming, one of the things that I would like to do in March for Anime Boston, which I pre-registered to go to during Anime Boston 2017, is live stream either that weekend or during the pre-registration of the Thursday of that week is live stream two of my panels that I did in years past. Um, for those of you that attend Anime Boston, I retire. I'm pretty much at this point. I'm retired as an official panelist. Initially, it was this year was about just taking a break from running panels, but I'd say after an exchange of words that happened between me and a panelist that I had an unrelated business transaction planned with, and the fact that I lost my cool with the director of panels and programming, In relation to that, pretty much in regards to all that, I feel like at this point, my days of doing panels with Anime Boston are done, at least on an official capacity. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be done. Period. And now that it's possible for me to live stream you through Facebook free of charge, I now have a pretty larger incentive and reason to pretty much do my own thing, and it's great. And I'm gonna give it a shot at Anime Boston 2018 as sort of a pre-show, you could say. So yeah, it should be exciting. What I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna talk about this more in a separate video, but I'm gonna start live streaming a lot more, or at least try to, from different places. And when I live stream, I don't live stream in my house, obviously, so should be fun. And the thing about when I live stream, I use my iPad, and since live streams obviously are gonna be huge and could be big draws, I tend not to resave the videos afterwards, so it's more of a spur of the moment type thing. So if you see it, if you follow me on Facebook and you get a notification saying that I'm live, you might want to do yourself a favor and tune in. And tell folks that you know to tune in, because you never know what could be going on. Switching gears again to also in regards to Facebook, and I think I touched on this and then wandered from topic to topic at the earlier in this video. Is as a lot of people know, my pen name, my pen name is Orville, and well, something that I've been really pushing to do, mostly this is in regards to social media's data collection of personal information, is I've started taking my name off off some of my social media platforms. I mean, I'm not going to be able to do it with YouTube since I have two email addresses, one for business related and business related stuff and important things, and another for everything else. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that in regards to my YouTube channel, because you change it with one, it affects all of them, and I can't really have that happening. And it would be too much of a bother for me to make a separate Google account just for that reason. But anyway, I changed the name that I used. I changed my name on Facebook and Twitter from Orville to Levon Davis. Those that know my real name, I'm good. This is pretty much a request that do not use it on Facebook, Twitter, and if you follow me on WordPress anymore, I'm not going to use. I'm talking both my real first and last name, just in regards to privacy, and identity, and protecting my real name and all that stuff. That's the number one main reason that I've taken my real name off of my social media, off of those two social media platforms. I mean, I've become really concerned with the fact that, and I know I definitely touched on this in a past video, but excuse me, it never ceases to amaze me how you have certain people that are concerned about government surveillance, and I know it's a real thing, as well as the government spying on them, but they don't have a problem giving all of their personal information to social media platforms and various other websites who we all know sell personal information to advertisers and personal information brokers, and a lot of that information ends up on the dark web and with a lot of other people who have all these who have hard drives and servers full of personal information that they've collected mostly from Americans and people in Western Europe, and they do one of two things with that information. Number one, they sell it obviously on the dark web or to other companies. And number two, and much more dangerously, they could use that information to impersonate you online. Either to impersonate you online or to open up fraudulent account and really wreck your life. And I never used to take that kind of. I never used to seriously consider that as more than something that only people that are known in the public would think about until I actually talked to some people that have had that happen to them. Pretty much anyone's fair game as far as these scammers and identity thieves are concerned. I mean, they don't just dumpster dive for your personal information these days. They can now get everything. A lot of what they need in order to impersonate you, they can just all they need to do is look at your Facebook account. I mean, everyone already knows knows what I look like. So, yeah. And on that note, I don't plan on ever. I do plan to. I'm not gonna take my pictures down because I figured it's been years, and yeah. Plus, there's these videos, so taking my pictures down would be pointless, and I'm not going to close my YouTube channel just for that reason. I'm not going to live in a bubble. I mean, anyway. At the same time, in regards to Facebook, Twitter, yeah, Facebook and Twitter mainly, I'm going to say, since I don't use the other platforms as much, and it's not as big of an issue. But in regards to those two, I decided to just take my real name off as a precaution, more or less. I mean, my picture's already there, and that's half of what you would need. I mean, I've taken my phone number off. I've also taken my cell phone number off of my Facebook account. One, because the number changed earlier this year, but also because, on the off chance that someone is somehow able to break into my account, or whatever, I don't want someone to be able to be able to see what my phone number is. That's no one's business but mine. I mean, it's something else. I mean, while it is true that Facebook has been taking steps to make it harder for people that are not on your friends list to see your personal information, um, I do feel like the fact that they have all of these options for people to share all this information is just way too intrusive. So it's like, when you really think about it, it's like, why do they need to know? Why do they need you to provide all this extra information about your work history? That's what LinkedIn is for. Your family history, who you're related to, who you're friends with, who you get engaged with, where you're going, how you're feeling, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have the problem that the rest of us have in regards to having their identity stolen. Random folks. Well, yes, it is true. People try to hack into his account every day. Let's not kid ourselves. Even if someone did, he probably has several layers in place to prevent anyone from really causing too much damage without him knowing about it at the very least. So yeah, just look at Experian, and don't even and that's a stop it for another video. But yeah, um, I definitely want to say that social media, when it's used, how it's used can be both good and bad. It's like a double-edged sword, and my nose is bothering me. My nose isn't running, but anyway, social media can be a double-edged sword in terms of how it's used, and well, it's very easy to say that I made this video go on for 30 minutes for no particular reason. That's what happens when you record videos unscripted. You never know what could happen. It could be long, it could be short, it could be anything. But yeah, um, I feel like we're at a point in regards to social media, not just because of who the current president of this country of the United States is. I had to stop myself from saying this country since I know that there are people from outside the U.S. that watch my videos, but I do feel like in this day and age, it's a lot more important for those who do have YouTube, Facebook, WordPress, Blogger, and a lot of other platforms I just went blank on. It's a lot more important. Oh, LiveJournal and Tumblr were what I went blank on, but I feel like it's a lot more important for people to use those platforms to express themselves. Two, voice concerns that they have, and three, also just stop being the silent majority, because it's like If you have, we have all these platforms are there for you to use and make pretty much make your opinion known. And that reminds me of a what's become sort of a thing online lately. The funny thing about message boards, message boards, blogs, and all these other platforms is everyone's got an opinion, and that's both good and bad. I mean, it can be it's bad because you have people that feel that their opinion is fact. I mean, and one thing I don't have a problem saying is, especially in regards to when I'm talking to someone one on one online, or and even with a lot of my YouTube videos, I may present something as factual when it's just my opinion. I mean, it's never intentional, and I do explain, and I do try to clarify after the fact. But it's one of the down. It's one that's where the term that 45 is pretty much made fame and viral right after he took office was fake news, and really is something. It's being that phrase is being misused, but that's a topic for another video that I'm going to record in a little bit. But yeah, another reason, one of the a lot of one of the good things about using social media and all these other online platforms to voice yourself is number one, and even if it's a very small way, um, even if it's a very small way, when you use social media, um, when you express your opinion on social media, at least you're showing that you have one, and that's important. I mean, it's kind of like when you go to the polls every 2 or 4 years and vote for elected officials, and I'm going to start doing that now in regards to that word. Is you're saying, hey, this is what I like about this person, this is what I don't like about that person, and all this other stuff, and yeah, you're just making like it's kind of like why now a lot of companies now are paying a bit more attention to social media and more in recent years than they had in years past, just because um, they want to be able to the obvious reason is they want to be able to custom make advertisements to try to hook you in to use buy their products or use their services, but also because it allows them to directly connect with with the public without using the middleman. It's just another means to an end in that sense in regards to advertisers. But another one of the good things is it's a pretty great and free way to really share with the world what is going on. I mean, you look at the other stuff that's been going on in this country in recent years, and it's like it really makes you think: how would things have happened during the civil rights era of the '60s and '70s if Twitter and Facebook existed back then? How would World War II have played out if we had websites like YouTube and WordPress? Really makes you think we've come a long way. No longer do we have to rely on, and I'm going to talk about this more another day, but no longer do you have to rely on the mainstream media or corporate media as they're also known as. You no longer do you have to rely on those platforms to get information. And it's not like in years past where that was your only source of information, and you had to take what they put out as face value. That's no longer the case. Now you can get information directly from people that are on the ground and seeing things play out in real time. And I feel like that's one of the reasons that, love it or hate it, social media is here to stay, and something that I've come to realize a lot more. Social media is necessary, and in fact, it may be the ultimate safeguard and check against corporate media, in the sense that if I had to choose between social media and corporate media reporting on the same thing, I'm going to be a lot more skeptical about the spin that mainstream media likes to put on things, and more likely to pay attention to the 4 or 5 different social media sources that are being put out there. I'm going to stop this video here since we're getting up to the half-hour point, but I've got another personal video coming up, and look forward to it.